Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Nikki Linnertz making another great meal for us. Today, we're putting a spin on the old shrimp grits and greens with shrimp over mashed cheesy cauliflower served with oven-roasted ratatouille-style vegetables. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. So grab a chair, sit back and relax because we have another great show for you. This is your Community Cooking. And welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Maria Prekeges, and I'm always excited to have back in the studio, back in our kitchen, Nikki Linnertz with us.
Hi, Maria.
So I love it when you come because everything's colorful, it's healthy, and as I always say, it's easy, so not only myself but everyone at home can make these recipes.
Absolutely. We all lead busy lives. We need easy.
We do, and today, forget shrimp and grits. We're doing some shrimp with veggie ratatouille, and then we'll get to the cheesy cauliflower pseudo mashed potatoes, as I like to call them. Tell me the ingredients for. We'll start with the shrimp and the veggie ratatouille.
Okay, well the shrimp couldn't be any easier, Maria. All we're going to do is we're going to take it's just shrimp, kosher salt, pepper, and some olive oil. That's all that we're going to do. That's very easy.
Now, in a pan in the oven.
We're going to throw it on the sheet pan because it's a lot easier than boiling shrimp, and it gives it so much more flavor when it's roasted. You could even use this for a quickie shrimp cocktail if you had sauce.
Oh, I love it. And then for the veggie ratatouille, which is our second dish, a few more ingredients, but still great, easy, fresh.
Absolutely. All we're going to do here is we've got some lovely tomatoes, we've got some zucchini, we've got some eggplant, and we've got onion. And I picked up this keen, even though I said a red pepper, I picked up this keen little striped one from the farmer's market. Cool stuff.
I love it. It's two-tone.
Yeah, actually you can get all of this at the farmer's market. And so all we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to chop that. We just take our vegetables, a little bit of olive oil just to coat it, and again, some kosher salt and some pepper. And it's not a traditional, the reason I say ratatouille style vegetables, it's not traditional ratatouille in that it does not have some of the traditional seasonings like the herbes de Provence that they generally use for it.
Okay, well let's start with the shrimp because that's easiest.
It is. Plus we don't want the veggies to compete with the shrimp or cheesy cauliflower, now do we?
Never, never.
Okay,
all right.
Going to make life easy for you,
See,
Maria.
I love it.
I'm going to take this and I'm just going to lay these down here, and I've got my nice gloves because the shrimp can get a little bit pungent.
Okay.
And so I'll just go ahead and I'll put these here, and they're just lovely shrimp. They're already peeled and deveined, which is all you need to do. See, all the tails are all off of them.
We like that.
Yep.
Although I have a keen trick for eating the little part of the shrimp with the tails on. You squeeze it.
You squeeze it, sure.
Every time you're with shrimp and you try to take everything off, nope, just squeeze it. Yep. But you've already taken the tails off, so I appreciate it.
Well, again, if we're going for easy, quick, we want to go there.
And I love the plastic glove because look, you know, spoons. It's just all super easy, and no cleaning up.
My hands.
Well, and really, of course, putting foil on a plate, that's the best. You just recycle it, you're done.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. That way you save more sheet pans that way. Yep. So this is all wonderful. Okay, so I'm just going to spread them out a little bit just to see
shrimp,
that
olive oil?
Yeah, shrimp and olive oil. But I am going to partition them a little bit, Maria, because I want to make sure that they roast and don't steam, you know?
Okay, so yeah, we even them out. Obviously one level. You don't want to stack them up and do too many.
No, definitely not. Okay, and what I'll do is I'm going to give this to you. This is our kosher salt, just kind of like this, just a little bit here.
Little here, little there, little in back. Is it left shoulder or right shoulder?
I think it's the left shoulder for good luck.
We're going for left. All right, a little bit of salt, just a little.
Yeah.
And we'll do one over the right for fun too.
That's right. And then we, we'll go ahead. We've got some pepper here, so why don't you do the honors?
I love fresh ground pepper.
Yep. We're just going to do some of that.
I bought a huge restaurant style one to use at home.
That's awesome.
Why wouldn't you? Pepper, and there are always new studies out, but they always say hot spices are great for you, but now it's like pepper's really good for you.
Sure it is.
Okay, we got some salt, we got some pepper, we got some shrimp. And will we turn these or we just leave them as is?
We're just going to leave them as is.
I love it.
All we need is just 10 minutes in the oven. Then we'll get them nice and pink and ready for our cheesy cauliflower when we're ready.
Okay, so these just in the oven. What's the temperature of the oven?
The temperature of the oven is 400.
Okay. And do you usually center rack for
Yeah.
most things?
Center rack is generally a pretty safe bet. That's
Okay.
correct. Okay, so now we want to get on to our
Veggies.
ratatouille. Okay, now the tomatoes, you're going to love this. Just take those and dump them on the sheet.
Oh,
That's easy
these
because
are
they're
my
small.
favorite tomatoes.
Yeah.
There we go. I took and dumped.
Now, of course, you could the farmer's market has some gorgeous big heirloom tomatoes too.
Yep.
You can always, if you so desire, use those and chop them up.
Okay.
But how easy was this just
Yeah,
now,
I
right?
like that.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Why don't you hand me a zucchini and why don't you
Okay.
take one? And you grab a knife and I'm just going to show you what I'm doing here. So all I'm doing is I'm just kind of chunking them up, kind
Okay.
of like half, or another method is you could just half it and then, do it. But you want them to be decent sized chunks. You don't want these teeny little things.
Yeah, no skinny little things. We want them chunky.
Right, we
we
absolutely
go.
do. Thank you. Sharon alike.
We're
I
sharing,
love it.
baby. So just in half and chunky. I like chunky.
There you go, chunky. is
I
great.
do. All right, I'm chunking up the zucchini and still have all my fingers, so that's always good. And it's colorful. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Eggplant?
Eggplant, yeah.
Hello, it's for you.
Okay, thank you. And why don't you take? You want the onion? You wanna
Actually,
try?
no, let's swap.
You want to swap? Okay.
I am very bad with onions, so.
Okay, no sweat. Here, let me just show you very quickly
Okay.
what what we're going to do here. And I know you just okay, perfect. Now
Yep.
you go ahead and do it. I'll just again not tiny, but reasonable like
Yeah,
that. About the same. If you have things more uniform, it's going to make your life easier with baking.
Well, and by the way, eggplant,
Uh-huh.
you can eat raw.
uh-huh.
I know a lot of people salt it and all that to get the liquid out.
Mm-hmm.
When I start cooking with eggplant, I just eat it raw.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's pretty soft to begin with, so it really doesn't need a whole lot to it.
Oh, and you already have the onion. You snuck it off on me.
I've got the onion, so I'll go ahead. And see,
Oh.
the nice thing about this onion, it's not even all that intense when you do it because really you're doing, again, decent sized chunks. You're not doing, you're not putting anything in fine dice. So,
And that
this
when
is
you
great.
work with an onion more like that and fine dice, that's when it really makes you cry.
Yeah, so this is perfect.
I lived in a ski town and we wore ski goggles.
Yep, that's
And now they sell them, like onion cutting goggles. I'm like, really? Just put your ski goggles on. Super. Or
That's
swim
fine.
goggles. That'd make for a fun looking kitchen.
That works too, or even just glasses are fine. But
Yeah.
see, the onions take on a whole new dimension once they're roasted. They're not at all.
Look at all
salty.
these vegetables. See, I
Doesn't that
could
look
eat them
great?
all raw, but we're not going to.
Don't use-
Garlic?
We actually aren't putting garlic
Okay.
in, but we are putting that in because we already have some garlic that we're going to put in our
That is
mashed potatoes.
beautiful.
Isn't that nice? How nice is that?
I love it.
Woohoo.
I like the striped pepper.
Well, I saw this one. I was going to buy a red one, then I said, nah. Even though it's okay, so it's not traditional
Yeah.
ratatouille, but nothing really about what we're doing today is exactly traditional. So it's kind of a break
You're
from
never
tradition.
traditional, and that's why we love you.
No, it's
And I
it's
mean
always,
that with the utmost respect. It's always fun.
No, we want to have some fun here. And plus, just because a recipe tells you use a red pepper or use a yellow pepper,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you can't use whatever you want. Just understand they all have a little bit different characteristics. For
Yep.
example, a green pepper is going to be spicier. Red is going to be sweeter.
A lot of people do not like green peppers. Sorry, green pepper, I'm not throwing you under the bus, but a lot of people, it doesn't mix well with, their stomachs. It just doesn't mix well. So,
Right. Well, when you're in Provence, when you're in France, the ratatouille.
wait a minute. Are you saving me a trip?
Absolutely. Everybody has a slightly different recipe. Now, you can go to France and no two recipes for ratatouille will be the same. Every house makes it slightly different. So this is our house, though. And
That
we
is a
can do
lot
whatever
of
we want.
veggies. I love my veggies.
Okay, so now we got to do the fun stuff. We got to
The
pour
olive
the
oil?
olive oil all over this. And we're going to really coat these veggies.
Okay.
Something fierce. And then I'm going to use the two best
Okay, I was
going to
say, I'm letting her.
I'm just
So you
going
do
for
that.
it.
Do we do salt and pepper while you're mixing that up?
Well, let me mix it first,
Okay.
then hit it with the kosher salt and the pepper. And you know what? We have a lot of veggies on here, more than I expected. But you know something?
Oh.
They won't necessarily be crispy, but they will be delicious. So again, don't stress if you're not following the recipe or if it seems like you have too much or too little. The idea is to be, just have fun with it.
Have
you know,
fun with
no
it.
reason to cook.
No one
with
has
it.
more fun than Nikki in the kitchen. Well,
no.
sometimes me. Or the two of us together.
The two of us together are great. Yeah.
All right, a little kosher
There
salt.
you go. Just go for it. Yeah.
I'm salting.
Yeah.
I love,
Just well season it because you know it's
and
going
we
to be
don't,
great.
do we mix this up once it goes in the oven?
Well, once it goes in the oven, we're pretty much just going to let it all get happy.
See? And it's so colorful. It's beautiful. Those tomatoes, oh. It took all my will not to eat one because they're my favorites.
Well, you can certainly try one. They are delicious even
they're
raw.
good. I'm going to wait till the final product is presented.
Well, I'll tell you what, Maria. I want you to have one now because I want
Okay.
you to tell me the difference between when it's actually when it's cooked and when it's not, so you see the difference. But they're still quite delicious even now.
So good.
Yeah. Here's
I
the
eat
other
them like candy at home.
Absolutely. Here's the other nice thing. If you have tomatoes maybe off season that are not quite so good, roasting it brings it to a whole other level.
So again, super simple. Entails a little chopping, which we can do. Salt, pepper.
All set.
I almost said oregano because in a Greek house, you put oregano on everything. Not for this, I realized, but it almost just came out.
Actually, with the ratatouille, you do, that's one of the herbes de Provence. You do oregano, but the thing is that because we don't want it to compete with our other flavors, we're not doing it.
All right, so we're going to put this in an oven. About how hot is the oven for this?
Well, the oven for that, it's between 400. The ideal is probably 425 for about 10 minutes, but it's whatever you like is what you do.
Okay, perfect. All right, we have our shrimp. We have our veggies. I think this would be a great time to take a quick break. We're going to clean up a little, and then she's going to convince me that the cheesy cauliflower substitution for potatoes and grits, I know she's going to convince me it's going to be easy, are going to be delicious. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're watching Community Cooking.
She calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. The whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Thanks.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, I'm with one of our favorite guest chefs, Nikki Linnertz, and we did some great shrimp in the oven, super simple. Now we have some vegetable ratatouille in the oven, and now we have cauliflower, cheese, a little butter. So you're kind of replacing the grits or the mashed potatoes with something more healthy, and I know it's going to be good, but convince me.
Well, it is maybe a little bit more healthy, although with the amount of cheese we're using, maybe not as much as some people. And of course, we're going to use some butter because what do I always say? Everything's better with butter.
Everything is better with butter. And so the ingredients, not a lot again. We love that. Simple.
No, it's very simple. So what we're going to do is, if you'd be so kind as to hand me a piece of the cauliflower. The only thing we want to do, it's a big chunk. Now, what I did was, earlier I went ahead and I took the big head of cauliflower, and now I'm just, finely chopping it. That's because when we put it on our pan, along with the chicken broth and the lovely roast garlic, we want to make sure that this is going to cook down, and if you have it smaller, it's going to cook down better. Plus, we're going to go and puree it, so it makes the most sense. So if you would be so kind as to do the rest of this for me.
Okay, and then you're going to have you said chicken broth.
Yes.
And cauliflower, and that's what you cook it in, which I'm sure gives it a great flavor.
Yeah, now you can use vegetable broth if you want
Okay.
to. So this can be vegetarian. If you want to make it vegan, well, you'll have to find a vegan margarine, and then you maybe vegan cheese, or don't use the cheese at all. But,
Okay.
but you can make it, with vegetable broth. The reason I use the chicken broth, it gives it a little bit better flavor, a little more savory, and that's the reason why.
I tell everyone, growing up, we did white rice with chicken broth. We never cooked white rice in just water. Always chicken broth, because it just gives everything a flavor.
That's correct.
More flavor, more flavor.
Yeah, and so another way I'll put you to work, I think that's good, you know, on the cauliflower, if you would be so kind now, because I know you, and the thing is, even though I was just going to do a little bit of cheese here, I know you always want more.
I like a lot of cheese.
So I'm going to make you, I'm going to have you grade
the
it.
big one.
Do the big one, sure.
Okay, the big side.
Yeah, because again, it's going to melt into the cauliflower, and it's really not going to matter, even if you can't quite grate it all and you have some chunks, no big deal. The heat of the cauliflower is going to take care of
What
that.
kind of cheese do you like?
Well, this is sharp cheddar, and this is
good.
what I like. That's what I use. Some people might, you know, use maybe the Parmesan or something, but I like this, especially for this dish, especially because you're kind of getting, though it's not grits, you're getting the, you know, kind of the grits feeling to it.
I love it. And you usually would boil the cauliflower for about 10 minutes?
10 minutes,
in
that's
a covered, and we skipped ahead and did that. So it would be nice and done, and you want it to be soft.
Right, and what you want to do is you want medium-high heat along with your roasted garlic, which I already put in there, and so they're in there getting happy with the chicken broth for about 10 minutes. And, you know, as we open it, we can see, you know, it's steaming, and basically what you're looking for is fork tender.
Okay, and roasted garlic. Just take cloves of garlic and throw them in the oven?
Exactly. All you're going to do is there's some instruction for it, you know, on the little side panel, but all you're going to do is take that. Some people just hack the whole big clove of garlic and then just drizzle it with, you know, wrap it in foil and drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil and, you know, go ahead and put it in the oven, you know, or there are people that just take the cloves and then roast them. And that's, with the cloves, it's the easiest. That's my favorite way of doing it.
It looks cool, though, when you just cut it in half and roast it.
It does, and then you squeeze it out. That's right, and then you can just spread it like butter on bread.
A lot of times restaurants or my friends have done that, and you have to know that you're not going to be seeing anyone too closely for the next 2 days because it's a lot of garlic, but garlic is so great.
Yeah, but you know, Maria, what they always say is, if you're on a date or something, well, if the person that you're going to kiss had garlic too, no big deal.
Yeah, no, you gotta keep it all together for sure.
That's right.
All right, this cheese is good. It doesn't taste like sharp cheddar, like the orange one.
No, it's a white sharp cheddar, and again, it's to your preference. If you like orange, by all means, use the orange.
I love it. I keep eating it instead of grating it. Oops.
That's all right. As long, hey, remember, you know, if you want it to really taste like mashed potatoes, you got to have an element like cheese. There's always a price you pay. Oh yes, ma'am.
Oh,
okay,
so
let's
good.
bring it over here, and let me show you the little trick. But this stick blender is one of my favorite things because what's nice about it is you just start it up, and you can do this, and that way you can just go ahead, and it's going to get nice and mashed that way. See?
Not the old, I tried to use an old-fashioned potato masher on cauliflower. It didn't quite work this well.
You can do that, and that's totally fine. It's going to be a little bit chunkier.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be as fine, and some people even put this in the blender or in their food processor. It depends how smooth you really want it. I like a little chunk, not too much. What's great about this is I have total control. The best thing, though, is when I'm making a soup and I have this puppy out, it's not going all over my, well, I won't, well, there was the time when I was a newlywed that I put some pumpkin soup in the blender and forgot that you're supposed to only put half in. And, well, we won't talk about that, but it all went all over the kitchen.
They're all fun stories and experiences that made you the chef you are today. So I love it.
Exactly, and it's a lot of fun. But see, what do you think of this consistency, Maria?
I like it. And keeping it in the pan instead of a blender keeps it warm for the cheese to melt.
Well, it keeps it warm for the cheese to melt, and did I forget to mention, there's less cleanup, too.
We like less cleanup. You know me, I don't like to clean.
We do. Okay, so, ma'am, would you like the honors? Would you like to, well, wait. What
are
we
butter.
Put in first? Butter.
Give them a little pat or two.
Yes, ma'am. Pat or two. And so we're going to go ahead now, and we've got this, and see, just look at how that's melted in there. How about that?
Oh, it's yum.
Yeah. So I really like this, and I love the fact that it's nice hot cauliflower with the nice butter, and they're all getting happy in there. And so
tell me when the happy cheese can go in.
The happy cheese? Well, let's wait till the
butter's melted.
Goes down a little bit. It's just another couple seconds. I know.
Oh no, I just keep eating the cheese.
You're just all about that cheese.
I'm like,
you're just all about the cheese, Maria. I know. You just love it. But you know what? That's a good sign. That means I chose well.
Yes, you did choose well.
So so this is looking good. Now I'm going to take a little bit of pink salt A lot of times I'll do kosher, but I'm going to do pink right now, the Himalayan salt. It's
I love the
actually so
pink
good
Himalayan
for
salt.
you as well. And then, I'm going to hit it with a tiny bit of pepper. Then I promise you can do your cheese.
That's okay. I could just take this home with
can
me.
just take
We'd
that
be
home.
good. But oh wait, I want to be able to taste everything
You
finished.
sure you want the cauliflower, Maria? You just don't
Yeah,
want the cheese
I know.
instead?
Well, it looks and smells so good. I mean, it looks between grits and mashed potatoes. So I
Hit
like
me.
the consistency. All right, I'm hitting you.
Hit me again.
Oh, don't you worry. I grated that extra just so we could go cheesy. Oh, yum. And if it all doesn't melt perfectly, it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
Have a little
it's-
more texture in it.
Absolutely.
Oh, why not?
Again, it's your recipe. You get to do whatever
Why
you
not
want.
just do it all? Put all the cheese
Absolutely.
in.
Yeah, we'll do that. We're just going to keep it on our hot surface here, and this is looking so good.
Oh my
but
God,
I'll
it
tell you to
smells so
have
good.
this. and to have
Cauliflower.
it hot.
This became that.
Yeah. And so I bet you can't wait to plate this up and try it.
I can't. So on that note, we're going to clean up and plate up and take a quick break. We'll be back in 60 seconds to do, of course, my favorite part of the show, the tasting. You're watching Community Cooking.
These high-efficiency toilets can save up to over 16,000 gallons of water in typical applications while sacrificing nothing in power or effectiveness. The secret to ProForce flushing technology is an innovative approach that combines a pilot fill valve with a computer-engineered trapway, conventional flapper, and a fill valve that is preset for the proper tank water level at the factory. When the flush handle is tripped, water is released from the tank, producing a hydrodynamic surge which creates a siphonic suction forceful enough to remove all waste and water from the bowl. Unlike many toilets that split the water between the rim and a jet, with Stirling toilets, 100% of the water from the tank passes through the rim jets to ensure extraordinary bowl cleaning action. For even more water savings, consider Stirling Dual Force High Efficiency Toilets, the Karsten and the Rockton. Dual Force toilets offer a choice of a 1.6 gallon flush for solid waste and a water-conserving 0.8 gallon flush for lighter waste needs. With Dual Force toilets, the water savings are even more significant with no compromise in performance. Stirling toilets have long been known for their 5-year one-flush cleansing performance guarantee, and these high-efficiency performers are no exception. What's more, most Stirling toilets come in either a round front option, which is ideal for small spaces, or with an elongated bowl, which is more comfortable for adults. They are also available in luxury height, which is taller than the standard toilet, making sitting down and standing up easier. Great style, unexpected affordability, and significant water savings. You can't do better than toilets with high-efficiency ProForce and Dual Force flushing technologies from Stirling.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. All right, it is beautifully plated up. We have our shrimp, our ratatouille, our vegetable ratatouille, and then the fake cheesy grits, mashed potatoes, the cauliflower.
Yeah, but it's not fake grits. It's just cheesy cauliflower.
I
Come on.
love it. All right, I'm going to take a
Okay,
bite.
but not until I hit it with a little more kosher salt for
Okay.
you, because it
You're
just
the
adds
boss.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
me
I'm
too.
gonna. I have to try them separately.
Okay. I'll try it too.
Okay. You only need cauliflower. That is phenomenal.
Very good.
I'm saving the shrimp for last. And you had me taste a normal tomato. Now I'm going to taste a roasted one.
Absolutely.
Oh, the flavors. I mean, with just the salt and pepper and olive oil, just made it burst.
Exactly.
And then the shrimp.
The shrimp, of course. All works.
The shrimp, just with that little seasoning, maintains the flavor of the shrimp, but it just, oh, how can I describe it? It is also yummy. And one more bite of the cheesy cauliflower. Okay, well, I have some work to do on your dish. Delicious, delicious, delicious.
I'm so happy. That's great. It's always a pleasure being with you, Maria.
Well, we love having you here. Thank you again. On behalf of Nikki, the entire crew, and myself, thank you so much for joining us on another great episode. And remember, we really do have some of the best chefs right here in our community. And we will see you next time on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200 in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.